This episode of Twin Speaks contains spoilers.
Hello and welcome to Twin Speaks for Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Wow, you sounded so lame saying that.
The fabulous
That's the title.
Emancipation. It's like you've never seen those words together.
Yeah.
Did you see that they changed the title?
Yeah, it's Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey now.
Yeah, Harley Quinn, semicolon.
Birds of Prey?
Yeah.
Oh. What about the fantabulous?
They got rid of it because people were getting confused by the
General
the
audience
title.
didn't know
Yeah.
what kind of movie it was. Because general audience are dickheads. But, I mean, yeah, I stand by that.
Yeah. I'm your co-host, Pat. You can find me on Twitter at KidCombo_, and I'm, of course, joined by my twin brother and co-host. You can find him on social media at Andemonium. It's Andrew.
You kind of bit my tongue when I said dickhead. I think that makes me
Dickhead?
a dickhead.
And, of course, we're joined by frequent guest of the show. You can find her on Instagram at States of Georgia. It's Georgia.
Hello. I'm baking banana bread.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, shut up about the banana bread. No, I'm just kidding.
Andrew, do you want some after this episode?
yes,
Because
yeah.
I know it looks pretty tasty.
It looks pretty tasty, but
Yeah, we'll see how it
ultimately,
tastes.
yeah.
Looks can be deceiving.
We're all just
Yeah,
sitting
just like
here
Patrick's
waiting for the
face.
timer to
I was
go.
going to make a joke about Patrick's looks too.
Yeah.
But then in doing so, I'd be making a slight about your looks as well.
Oh, that's why I did it.
Oh.
Because I'm okay with that.
What's on the docket today?
Wow, that was the worst.
Is this going to be another episode where you...
I wasn't making
just
fun of you. I was making fun of the
mock
awkward pause.
me?
A what? I didn't mock you yet.
No, Andrew does.
I didn't mock
yeah.
you yet.
Does Andrew mock me? Yes, he does.
No, there was just this
That
like
was
weird.
just for you.
There was like this weird awkward pause where Patrick just kind of glanced down at this
Well, he
phone,
just
like he
looked
was
at
just
me.
contemplating what he was doing. And then you were like, "Fill time."
That joke was for you and Chandler.
Yes.
Shout out. That's
Wait,
it.
who's Chandler?
Chandler?
Lauren's boyfriend.
Who's Lauren?
Chandler's girlfriend.
Wait a second. Who are these people?
Okay, so we're going to talk a bit about...
That's it. Huh? We're not.
Just-
Don't know.
Moving on. There's a lot to talk about. There's a few pieces of news, and then we'll talk about some of the Oscars winners.
Let's get this moving. I want to eat some banana bread.
Yeah, that timer's going to blow any minute now. Wait, when?
No, you got 5
Andrew,
minutes.
what does it say?
5 minutes.
Oh, God.
We record this is 5 minutes. Birds of Prey was okay. Brad Pitt finally won. Parasite good. Look at that! I saved us 4 minutes.
Yeah, we were talking about last week, Knives Out, getting the sequel.
Ooh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
what's his name? Pepe Le Pew.
Ben,
No.
Ben
Benoit?
Le Pew. Sorry. Wait, what? Why did you look offended about that?
Because I love Pepe Le Pew.
Do you
Oh,
like,
so you just took offense in his honor?
Yes, I did.
do you like Pepe Le Pew or his girlfriend?
I like Pepe Le Pew.
What's Pepe Le Pew's
He
girlfriend's
comes
name?
on a little too strong. But
Lauren. No, wait. What is the girlfriend? What's the actual skunk's name?
She's just a cat. The skunk's name is
Oh,
Pepe Le
yeah,
Pew.
Pepe Le Pew.
His
Okay,
girlfriend
it's
is a cat that
with the
looks like a
white
skunk.
stripe.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The White Stripes.
Well, what's the...
Meg White.
Oh, it's Meg White. Do you know there was in School Rock, there's a joke about Meg White?
What?
Yeah, there's like two of the kids are talking outside, and the one goes like, oh, like, she has better rhythm than you. And it's like, well, Meg White can't play drums or something like that. And it was like, what the fuck?
Shit. You think kids would even realize?
No.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
That'd be
It was
so
so
funny.
weird,
There's
yeah.
like one kid in the audience who's like, whoa, damn.
Yeah, I guess I hate the white stripes now.
Yeah. Well, Buck Keys are great, I guess.
Yeah, I guess raconteurs.
I'm still trying to figure out who Meg White is. So
From the
drummer
White
from
Stripes?
White Stripes.
There's Jack White, and then
We pronounce White Stripes very differently.
White
to be
Stripes. You
honest.
like crust white strips.
Yeah, Chris White Stripes. That's like an SNL parody. What would be the Black Keys?
I don't know.
That's
Like,
it, huh? Yeah, you're not good at improv.
I got nothing. Didn't come to me in 5
So I
seconds.
guess there's no riff there.
Nice try.
Yeah, it wasn't a nice try. You didn't try at all.
I gave it about half a second of consideration. And
Yeah,
then I was like,
again, you just sort of like went from looking at your mic or me to looking at your phone. Like, what is with this? Why do you keep doing
I
that?
thought you guys were going to talk. I was just start giggling.
What's the first piece of news?
Oh, just that we were talking about Daniel Craig and Knives Out sequel last week. So there's like a bit more news with that. So they've actually like announced that it's just going to be him as a reoccurring cast member, but it'll be a different setting and location.
Right.
And story. So there's going to be like a different mystery, but Daniel Craig being sort of the...
So he solves the mysteries.
Yes. I couldn't think of the word detective.
Yeah, the fellow who solves crimes.
But apparently he said that it's going to be like the subgenre of this, like whatever whodunit. Could be any, like he said it could be like a slasher or it could be like a serial killer story.
Shit.
Oh.
So he said that he's actually going like kind of hard on
So
it.
Benoit Blanc.
Banana bread.
No, that's
Still
the
got-
1 minute warning
you still have
timer.
55
Yeah, right.
seconds. Benoit Blanc takes on Mike Myers. No, wait, Michael Myers?
Michael
Myers.
Myers. Taking
on
on Mike
Shrek.
Myers is a whole different
Did you
thing.
see that thing about Shrek and how Mike Myers recorded all of Shrek's line in a Canadian accent? And then before, like in post-production, re-recorded all of the lines in a Scottish accent. And it cost the studio like $4 million or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
I would like to hear the
And-
original audio.
Yeah, me too. Well, yeah, I don't know how hard he went on it. Is it a Newfoundland accent? Like,
But he's not. Shrek isn't Scottish.
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be Scottish.
Wait, what?
He's definitely Scottish.
See, I
He's
think about
Scottish.
Scottish Mike Myers. We're in I'm Married to a Serial Killer, or what's that movie called? I married
To Michael Myers.
I married an axe murderer. So I married an axe murderer.
Oh, yeah, right.
Where his family is very Scottish, and he plays his own dad in the movie.
Wait, Mike Myers?
Yeah. Okay, so
Michael
where was I? So I married an axe murderer.
This is
He
very
plays his own dad in that movie,
Your timer's done.
and he has
it
a
is.
Scottish accent. But now I feel like I need to rewatch Shrek because I am not imagining him with a Scottish accent whatsoever.
So wait, how does he play his own dad?
There's a scene. He goes over to his dad's
He,
house.
like stacked on top of another kid wearing a trench coat.
That's not playing his own dad.
That's what she said.
Yeah, and so he acts as himself, as his character,
Yeah.
and also as his character's dad.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's spooky.
That's fucking weird.
But it's
But-
like we're also just used to seeing movies in which Mike Myers plays multiple people in one film, so I guess it's not that weird.
I can't believe you don't think that Shrek's accent is Scottish. It's for sure
I
Scottish.
never picked up on it.
What if I definitely made that up and then you just like,
Is he
you know, like
Scottish?
Mandela effect where you're like, yeah, he's Scottish.
It's like as soon as you were like, he recorded in a Canadian accent, I was like, yeah, but like Shrek has a Canadian accent. Well, that's something for me to think about as
If
I
you
fall
look-
asleep tonight.
If you look up Shrek or like search Shrek, the autofill is Canadian accent.
Really?
Crazy. Here, you want to hear
Only there's
Shrek?
a way to like figure this out.
Oh, it's an ad.
Yeah, you're gonna get copyright infringement.
Oh God!
That Monopoly ad. Okay, wait.
You don't have enough
Monopoly.
followers for this.
That's Cameron Diaz.
That wasn't in the job description. Maybe it's a perk.
No, it's destiny.
Oh my god.
You must know how it goes.
He does have a Scottish accent.
Tower.
Wait,
There's not enough.
he hasn't even talked yet.
I really don't think this is a good idea.
Just take off.
That's awful. It just
Oh.
doesn't work at all. Can you imagine an entire like movie series of movies where he's just Canadian? Alternate universe Shrek. Does it make him nicer? Like, is he less grouchy?
I wonder if there's like a bonus features disc somewhere where he's just doing the Canadian accent.
Maybe there's a bonus features where he's doing the Canadian accent and Chris Farley's also a donkey.
for like half of the movie.
Because he
Then
recorded.
dies.
He actually recorded lines for it.
Oh, he did. Because
Chris Farley was supposed to be Donkey
yeah, I knew that he got like cast
or
as it,
Shrek.
but
I can't remember which. I think it was Donkey.
I think it was
Whoa.
no,
Yeah.
it was Shrek. It was Shrek.
I don't think it was.
Damn, that's crazy.
I don't know, they
Shrek is
shouldn't-
taking up a lot of this podcast. Already.
They really should not release any more, though. We have like Shrek 1, 2, 3, and 4, and in my opinion,
And there's
they
like a
needed
whole
to
bunch of
stop
Christmas
after-
ones too.
Yeah, there's like mini Shrek.
Oh, it is Shrek. You're right.
Movies.
He plays Shrek. Sorry.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it could have ended after the third one. I
Welcome
like
to
Shrek.
Twin Speaks Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek edition. We should do an episode where we talk about all the Shrek movies.
We should.
There's
Please
5
leave us a
Shrek
comment if that's something you want to hear.
So there's Shrek, Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, Shrek Forever After, and then Shrek 5?
Shrek is a hard word to say and
Shrek.
not sound like you have a speech impediment.
Oh,
And
Shrek,
if you're Patrick, you do.
Shrek 5.
He has a slight lisp that I point out all the time.
Didn't acknowledge it at all. Either.
No, I was ignoring you. Shrek 5 is supposed to come out this year.
Oh God!
What's it
When
called?
did the original come out?
Shrek 5.
Did
That's it.
Shrek initially came out in 2000?
2001.
2001.
God. Is this
They've been
Disney
creating Shrek content for
almost 20
19
years.
years.
Damn.
Yeah, that's like 2 decades worth of Shrek.
And they haven't even redone.
Sick.
Like, normally after that amount of time, they'll like remake it. Like, they'll remake the Shrek movies.
Yeah, they haven't.
What if they did Shrek live action?
Oh, God.
That'd be fucked.
That'd be so fucked.
Mike Myers would
There's
want
so many people that would like want to be Shrek too. Have you
I
ever
wouldn't
seen
put
that
it
picture
past
of-
it.
Have you seen that picture of that like huge bald guy who dresses up as Shrek for his wedding?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They have a Shrek themed wedding.
Yeah.
My, I think one of my English teachers, maybe it was, Mr. Copera, dressed up as Shrek one year, and it scarred.
In green body paint.
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, God.
That's such
That's
dedication to a mediocre joke or mediocre costume.
Yeah.
Just to be like, oh, I'm Shrek, and you're like, ugh.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
And Mr. Copera, if you're listening, and I got any of those details wrong, I apologize.
Do you think
Would
he
it be
no,
wild if he found you on a podcast that you're not even named on?
maybe he listens to because
He's just like, listen to Twin Speaks and these guys rule, because that's what all of our fans say. And then they're like, oh, who's this, Georgia? Oh my God, it's Georgia.
I failed Math 9. So
Oh, right.
I'm sure he remembers me.
That stupid student man. Georgia.
or maybe he's obsessed with Shrek, so then he's like, looking
He's
at
just
the
like
Shrek
searching by
hashtag.
keyword. He's just searching
All right,
Shrek.
what's on the docket today? And then he
Yeah.
looks it up.
He's like, wow, they're sure spending a lot of time on Shrek.
I love these guys.
Yeah, that one time I dressed up as Shrek.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Do you have any more news?
Yes.
So much more news.
Rogue One director Gareth Edwards. So his last movie was Rogue One, and then he did Godzilla and Monsters before that. He has just announced that he has gotten financing, and New Regency will produce a new untitled sci-fi film written, directed by Edwards, with Kiri Hart, who also produced Rogue One. So he's got a new project coming out.
Right.
And they've already started casting,
Oh, that's cool.
and they're going to start shooting this summer.
So it's untitled.
So far, it's untitled. There was a joke that it's going to be another, what's it called, a Cloverfield movie, because they kept everything sort of in tight, and they don't really release details on it. But I think it's just like another Gareth Edwards, because it says
He's not related to those movies, though. And it's not Bad Robot that's financing.
no. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That was the joke,
Oh.
because it says that it's a shit. It says that it's an all original idea.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
this one, instead of being called Monsters, it's going to be called Space.
Or like
Outer
instead of
space.
Godzilla, it's
Yeah.
just giant lizard.
Outer Space Monsters.
I liked both
Aliens.
of those movies.
I
Or-
just described what aliens were. Outer Space, Monsters.
monsters.
Terrestrial, but in space.
Does that mean that we're monsters?
What?
Yeah, dude.
What? Sorry?
The real
Are we
monsters
Are we
all
out of
along.
space monsters?
We're the real monsters.
Outer space monsters?
Outer space monsters.
Not something for you to think about when you're falling asleep tonight.
Outer space.
Who's the real
outer space
monster?
Oh, you're confusing me. Were you talking about outer space monsters?
I was wondering if we as humans a product of outer space are considered outer space monsters. Or if it's an us versus them sort of dichotomy, you know?
Are we from outer space?
Yeah,
We
dude.
are. What do you mean?
Made up of like 0.001
Andrew, we live in a galaxy.
stardust.
What are you talking about?
When we
yeah?
were
We're
made,
terrestrial
God
to Earth.
The same
took
process.
his giant hands and he just
Oh my
squished
God.
together.
Welcome
two
to Twin
things.
Speak Sermon.
And he made Adam and Eve, and they were
was
the
tiny
same
little
process
specks.
that made us made aliens.
Did
And they
have you
smushed them all together.
Did
Yeah.
you see that? There was like this infographic talking about all the. It was like showing. It was like this weird like bird's eye view, which I realized is not possible for space, just for the point of
From
my
one
lack
angle.
of able to describe this. My hands.
I like his
360.
hand movements.
A
His hand was
360
just
angle.
in the air.
Yeah, God, I was God.
Or a light.
yeah, I'm the bird. As the crow flies, there was all these. No, but it was showing all the planets, and then it was showing all the moons. And holy shit, did we get gypped on moons?
Yeah, dude. We
There
Yeah.
are so many more moons everywhere else. It's so much more interesting.
we have one.
We have
moon.
one, and it's called the moon.
Yeah.
All
But
of
that's
them
the
have great
weird thing.
names. They're
Well, I
all
was gonna
like-
say it's weird that our moon doesn't have a name other than Moon.
Yeah, but
which-
Earth also describes what it is too. Like Earth and Moon are both like what they are.
Fuck, what video was I watching? I watched some video and they were like, is the moon a planet?
It was a newscast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, the fucking moon's a planet. It's like, no, it's a moon. It's a planet. He's like, look at it.
That's like Matt and I were watching. It was like the TNT like inside the NBA guys. So it was like Shaq and like
Yeah.
and they were. It was the random fact. No, it was. I can't remember what it was. It was whatever segment it was. They were talking about the distance between the moon and in comparison to the West Coast, because they were filming in like the East Coast, I think. And they said it was the West Coast. His rationale was that he could see the moon from where he was, but he couldn't see the West Coast. So the West Coast was farther. Oh my God. Like, you realize you're watching this and you're like, wow, this is really just funny that Shaq is this much of a dumbass. He was like, yeah, I can't see the West. I can't see LA, so like, but I can see the moon.
Yeah, a
And they're
6-hour flight. Imagine if it took
Yeah,
6
so that's
hours
what he
to
was
get to
like.
the
He was
moon.
trying to like figure out. He's like, well, it's a 6-hour flight, so it would take like what, 3 hours to get to the moon.
What if the sun was out instead and he was like
Yeah,
staring
but-
at the sun?
And he's like, well,
It's
I can't
gotta
see,
be closer
can't see
than,
the
like-
moon anymore, so it must be the same distance.
Take me, what, 45 minutes to get there?
Yeah.
I remember getting creeped out about the moon, like when the moon felt like it was following you when you were a kid, and you were like, it's just everywhere. And obviously you don't understand like
All
the
the time.
distance of like,
Wow.
from the Earth to the moon. So it was like, why is it everywhere you go? And then,
You're just like you're like going camping, you come out of a porta potty, you're like, oh my God, there it is again.
fuck off.
Turns around
Piss off, moon.
and her shadow's next to her. It's like, oh my God, it's following me.
Yeah. This is not a movie podcast anymore.
Okay, I got two pieces more. Taika Waititi's new movie, Thor: Love and Thunder, is moving ahead. They've just added writer Jennifer Caton Robinson, who recently directed and wrote the Netflix film Someone Great, which came out last year. I think it's got like 90% or something on
Sorry,
Rotten Tomatoes.
what's the Thor movie called?
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying 11th
Thunder.
Thunder. And I was like,
11 Thunder, and you have to find out all the 10 other ones.
this is just the 11th one.
Number 1, Thunder.
No, it's just
2, Junior Thunder.
Thunder the Third.
4, 3 is
Number 3.
Big Thunder.
When you live near a construction zone and you think it's thunder, but it's not thunder.
Number 5 is Mick Thunder.
Number 6 is Jackhammer Thunder.
Wow, I almost said number
Number
7 is
7.
Lightning McQueen.
He's the nemesis in the movie. 7 can be Thunder Nuggets.
Thunder Nuggets.
I was just going through McDonald's. The McDonald's meal.
McChicken.
Yeah.
Big Thunder.
That's why I said Junior Thunder. It's Junior Chicken, yeah. It's not as funny if I have to explain it. It was funny. It was like I was laughing at it because I knew what I was doing and I thought it funny, but then you guys just kept riffing on it without that in mind.
Love and Thunder. Okay.
Yeah, Thor, Love and Thunder.
Because people liked Thor Ragnarok,
Thor,
right?
Love,
Yeah.
and Thunder.
I did not.
What?
I
Really?
know. Hot take.
It's
Yeah.
the best one.
Didn't like it.
It's easily the best
It
one.
might be even one of the better
Thought it was
like Marvel movies.
Marvel,
for the fact that it's
period.
not like really a Marvel movie.
I thought it was boring.
Are you thinking of
It's
the right
really
one?
funny.
Yes, I didn't like it.
The one
Especially
with-
because I love Taika Waititi and I was like very confused.
He's so funny in that
and
too.
conflicted.
Yeah.
He plays the big guy, right?
Plays Korg, yeah.
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 Korg's Revolution.
Piss off Ghost.
Well,
And
we
then...
don't have to get into that, but
But Christian Bale is in talks for one of the roles.
I love him.
Yeah, he was being talked about for a bunch, but they said he's probably going to be on for multiple movies or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
There was a couple things where he's apparently like some big villain, like something big.
Yeah.
It's weird imagining him in that universe because it's Christian Bale. I don't know.
Yeah, he almost seems above it now.
I was
too,
gonna
like-
say he's such a
Well,
like.
maybe he's just come around, you know, like
Maybe, yeah.
because he's done that. He's done also all these like good, like he's doing Ford versus Ferrari and stuff like that. Like he's done all these other movies now in between.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe circling around and coming back to it.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Also, money.
Yeah, it could be just that.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a jet he wants to finance.
Could be. But he's been in talk for a long time. It seems like because they announced a while ago that he was going to be in this movie, and then sort of nothing happened. And then I was reading like this Variety article, and they were like, "Yeah, no, he's still in talks. Like they're still trying to figure out what he's."
That's cool.
So, and then Natalie Portman's supposed to be somehow involved
Because
as
she's
well.
supposed to be Thor.
Yeah, Lady Thor.
Whoa. Why does
Yeah.
she have to be a lady Thor? Why can't she just have another name?
Well, they're just distinguishing the two because Chris Hemsworth is coming back as well.
Oh.
So there's going to be two Thors.
But she'll have a different name.
It'll
She'll
just be Thor. Yeah.
She'll be Thor.
But right now in the thing, they're
To
just
differentiate between the two.
Yeah.
People are calling her Lady Thor, but she'll be Thor in the movie.
Yeah. So
How can there be two Thors?
Because Thor's the mantle, not the
What's Thor's real name?
Thor Odin's son.
Mm-hmm.
So his name is Odin's son?
Yeah.
Because Odin, he's the son of Odin.
So
And
what's her
Odin
name
is
gonna
his
be?
dad.
Wait, because she played, she
So
was
he's
in the
Papa
first one,
Odin.
wasn't she?
Sorry.
She was in the first one, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So what's her name?
Jane Foster.
Lady Thor.
No, so her name is going to be Jane, like Thor Jane Foster. If we're following the logic of Thor Odin's son, her name is going to be Thor Jane Foster.
You just got to move yours forward because I can hear you breathing.
Forward or farther back?
Just a tiny bit farther back.
Okay.
Breathe.
Kiss like a cat.
Man, I'm watching so many videos today about.
Can you hear me
cats.
breathe
We
or
did
not?
not
No,
finish
you're
my
good.
point.
Go ahead.
If his name is Thor Odin's son,
Yes.
her name is going to be Thor Jane Foster.
No, Odin's son
No.
is describing who he is. So he's the son of Odin.
Okay, so you're saying
So
his,
Jane Foster's name is blank daughter.
but her name's Jane
being
Foster.
his mom's name or her mom's name.
Her name's Jane
Her
Foster.
no,
His
her
name
mom's
is-
name is blank Foster. As everybody knows.
No, but it wouldn't be her mom's name. It would be her dad's name.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. This is out
We'll
of
follow
my,
up on this because
yeah.
I'm very curious now.
But the other thing I was just gonna say is that writer being added to Taika Waititi's team probably has to do with Natalie Portman being like somehow involved with the cast
Why?
because they want her as like to write for her as well, kind of thing. Like they're expanding the writing team to include her to write for Christian Bale's character, what's his name, Chris Hemsworth, and then Natalie Portman. So anyway, that's all.
Cool.
And then the last little piece is Tom Hardy's been announced to star as explorer Sir Ernest. Sorry. I tried to say
saying
sorry
sorry
and
or
earnest at the same time.
I thought that was his
Sir-
actual name. I was like, ooh, that's fancy.
Ernest.
Sir Ernest
Sir Ernest?
Shackleton.
That's a sick name. Thor Ernest Shackleton.
Thor Ernest Shackleton?
No, it's Sir Ernest.
Oh, right.
Shackleton.
Ernest Odinson.
Thor Sir Ernest Shackleton.
Shackleton.
So Tom Hardy is going to play Sir Ernest Shackleton,
Thor Sir Ernest Shackleton.
and it's being written by the guy who wrote Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Hey, you nailed that.
Yeah,
And-
wow, you
Good
practiced
job.
that, didn't you, by the way?
You can see you go.
I did it.
Anyway, yeah, it's just like a new movie that's going to come out because you haven't really heard anything about what he's doing.
What do you mean? Just as way
Tom Hardy.
I like to
I
think
heard he's
about Tom
peeing in
Hardy
corners.
in his
Okay.
prime when he was on MySpace.
What?
Have you
Wait,
seen
what?
those photos of Tom Hardy's MySpace? It's still up and available.
He's just fell off my mic.
Yeah, that's not as interesting as Tom Hardy's MySpace. Come on.
That's sorry.
There's
Continue.
some. Wait, let me pull up some saucy pics.
Wait, are they shirtless
wasn't he
pics
like
or are
a-
they dick pics?
Didn't he do like
Testicles or
Rapping?
please don't
MySpace
bring it up
photos.
again.
This is one.
How did you find that so fast?
What?
God.
This is like a well-known thing. I am shocked. You two have not looked at these photos yet. This is also one. Yeah, he was like quite a saucy little
Oh,
minx back in the
That's
day.
not Tom Hardy.
That is definitely Tom
There,
Hardy.
pass it over here. I want to see.
This was before he was an actor.
Come on.
When he was just on MySpace, like regular
Like
human
a regular
being.
dude.
It doesn't even look like him.
Oh my
said-
god. Oh my god.
Right?
The fact that he's like in this one, he's pulling his boxers out a little bit. Tom Hardy's dick. What the fuck? He's
It was like it's a lot of like chaotic energy on his MySpace.
Yeah.
He's just like a good dad.
Like this one where he's wearing a Speedo.
That's him?
Yeah, and just has like a mustache. Anyways, that's what I think about when I think of Tom Hardy now.
His quote about it is so funny. He's like, I've got no shame about my MySpace photos, especially the one with me in my underpants, which is a glorious photo of a man in his natural habitat. It's just so weird.
I just like to think of him as a regular old chap, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, true.
Just putting on his whitey tighties, just like everybody else.
Just
One
big
leg at a
dogging
time.
anybody around him.
Just what?
Big dogging.
Big dogging?
Yeah, he's in his undies.
Big dogging?
Yeah.
Dogging?
You like explained the wrong part of why I was confused. Big dogging, you're like, yeah, it's on these. Like, no, what does that mean?
Like a dog.
Yeah.
Dog or dong?
You mean you've never put underpants on your dog, you freak?
Cut the hole in the tail.
Yeah. That's my favorite.
What?
I have so many pictures of Murphy wearing underpants.
What?
It's hilarious.
This
It's
is a
so
revelation.
funny.
What?
I've sent them to you guys.
No, I definitely
Nope.
never seen
Okay,
her
well,
wear
never
underwear.
following up. She always looks
No.
so betrayed.
We're not
she puts
doing.
them on.
We're not doing more pictures. We gotta move on.
Okay, one second. Just give me like 10 minutes.
Okay, that was it for news. Do you guys want to talk about the Oscars now?
Yeah.
Okay. Should I start from like the? Do you want to go into like the big categories first, or just like skim through it all?
We don't have to do all of it.
Okay. Best Picture.
Parasite.
Yeah. Have you
Was this
seen?
quizzing Georgia?
That's the only one. I did actually watch the Oscars or part of it.
Yeah, Andrew, have you seen Parasite yet?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was sick.
Pat's
Not
the only one that's
not
seen it.
because I haven't wanted to. I just like I thought it was in theaters and then I missed it. I didn't realize it was on streaming already.
Yeah. So, well, Mom and Dad just watched it, so you got to watch it on their thing.
On the show.
Yeah, because it's like purchased and everything. So
Right.
But yeah,
How do you feel?
honestly, that was like shocking that it
Yeah,
won.
I saw that.
'Cause
Some
they-
people hate it. So I saw it like
Fuck,
I
yeah.
thought it was universally
acclaimed.
and the fact that it won was one of these things where it was like, yeah, like people who like who appreciate movies like won one.
Finally got one. Yeah.
And then people were like, no, it shouldn't have won. And you're like,
Yeah, I don't
fuck?
get that.
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh,
I mean, I've never
1917
seen it, so
should've
that's the
won.
thing is that I can't really speak on it. But from what I've heard of
It is
anybody who's seen it,
And who wouldn't want to see that glorious, beautiful man
up there again.
up there making other
Drinks
speeches,
deep.
talking about how drunk he's gonna get, how drunk he already is.
was. Yeah.
I'm like, and I
when-
said to Pat too, he's like, funny, he's like, well, I thought after we won, like, I won Best Director that, you know, I could take it easy. I was like, there is apparently a 73% chance that if you win Best Director,
Yeah.
the movie is gonna win Best Film.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's gonna win, like.
And like the order that it came out in too, it was like he won. I think he won best script, best screenplay first,
Yeah.
and then he won best international film.
Right.
And people were like, okay, so that's probably like means he has a good chance of getting
Yeah.
best picture. And then he got best director, and it's like, holy shit, it's actually gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then they won like best picture, and I can't believe it. That's so insane. Like honestly, it's easily one of the best movies that I've seen in the last like 10 years. It's
That's
in
sick.
the entire thing, like the writing, the character development. Like the one thing he said too was like he was interviewed a bunch of times about the cast and stuff, and he was saying that he didn't think that he should have gotten a screenplay or like even been nominated because it's such a character driven movie.
Right.
He thought that the characters or the actors should have gotten nominated instead.
Oh, crazy.
I love
Yeah.
that he gets interviewed by some people being like, you know, it's kind of a weird idea. Like, it's kind of creepy and like whatever. And how did you come up with that? And he just goes, because I'm a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. It was like
That's so
Entertainment
funny.
Tonight or
He's
something.
so
Yeah.
good. He's just so dry and so like,
He's so funny.
yeah.
And then-
Pat's been spamming me since the Golden Globes, when they won at the Golden Globes for something, and
It would have been, one of the awards. Yeah.
and like all the videos and photos
Yeah.
and the cast getting their awards, and he's in the background taking photos on
Or
his
he's
phone.
like taking
and, like,
dad
That's
pics
so
of
sick.
everybody.
Yeah.
Because they won best cast or best ensemble or something, won awards, and he's like taking pictures of them and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
great.
So funny.
it was tender.
So that was best picture, best director, Bong Joon-ho. Best actor, Joaquin Phoenix.
I
Yeah.
thought that was a predictable
Joker.
choice.
I thought it was
Yeah.
too because he won literally every single Best Actor
That he was nominated for, yeah.
that he's been nominated for.
Yeah.
I think the only one he didn't win was the one Willem Dafoe got.
And
Or no, Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
At
the Spirit Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the Spirit Awards actually nominated Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That one was like, I kind of liked his speech. Him
I
talking
haven't
about,
watched the speech yet, but
I didn't like it.
it
I
was-
liked it to a certain extent, but then when he started like talking, like, don't get me wrong, I'm, you know, not anti-vegan, but I thought it was a bit of a weird twist. It came out a bit out of a left field for me when he started talking about like cows and milk production and stuff like
oh,
that.
weird.
Well, because he's been a vegan for like almost his entire life, apparently.
Yeah, I just feel like, you know, like maybe not the moment.
Sure, yeah.
But
Yeah, but that's the thing with him is that like it hasn't really seemed like the moment for any weird
Yeah.
shit that he said,
That's
but he
true.
just kind of
Instead of talking about himself,
he's
he's
just a fucking wacko. And,
yeah.
yeah.
But
Um,
I think like he still deserves.
He's still a
to
great
win
actor,
that.
yeah.
Not maybe win it, but like I can see why he won it. Like if
Yeah.
you were to pick, you'd be like, okay, yeah.
Okay, so if you guys were to pick then, Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Adam Driver in Marriage Story, Joaquin Phoenix, or Jonathan Pryce. I actually, when they were doing like the whole thing before she opened the
I
envelope,
thought it was going to be Adam Driver.
I thought it was going to be Jonathan Pryce because that seemed like a very Academy thing to do.
What was he in?
The Two Popes.
Oh,
Who would
he
you
was
have picked?
fine in that. I don't get that
Yeah.
either. I think the nominations were weird. I would have picked Adam Sandler to be honest,
Yeah,
but he wasn't.
But he wasn't even
obviously,
nominated.
but,
George.
Yeah, I haven't seen Marriage Story. I haven't seen a lot of those movies though.
I saw
kind of
Two Popes.
I expected it to be Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be Adam Driver just because I love him so much. But
Yeah.
you know,
And then Best Actress was Renee Zellweger.
yeah, which I
for
thought was
Judy.
expected.
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of like she's a well respected.
Yeah, you had the good point. I was like, oh, I kind of wanted to see like
That's her second
Saoirse
Oscar,
Ronan or
but
Scarlett Johansson.
It's not their time yet.
Yeah, and that's
not
what
that
you
I don't
said,
think
too.
that those actresses are like brilliant and talented, because I love them way too much. But you just know that like something like the Oscars isn't going to go for that route. Like they're not going to pick like a younger actress versus someone who's playing Judy Garland, and like Renee Zellweger is she's been around the block.
It's the same with like Brad Pitt winning too.
Yeah.
Like he did well in that movie, and like I really liked him, but you knew he was gonna win that Oscar well before it was gonna happen, because it was like his time to win the Oscar.
Yeah.
And then
when
all these campaigns go through, like they all vote well after that, then like you have time to see that sort of stuff, and people get in their heads about it, and then they're voting for Brad Pitt. So
but it's even like foreshadowing too when you see all these other awards and he's winning every one that he's nominated for, and it's like, okay, well, he's probably gonna win this one as well.
I loved him in that movie. Like,
that's for sure.
who else was nominated for supporting actor?
Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins for Two Popes, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci, both from The Irishman.
Wow.
I don't think either of them.
I honestly don't think
that's
any of those other actors were like.
Yeah.
Like the only one for me maybe was Al Pacino. Because like I saw Anthony Hopkins in Two Pope, and again, like I don't know how that movie got nominated.
Yeah,
those two guys.
Interesting. Yeah.
Again,
good in
maybe
it.
it's just their time kind of thing.
They're good in it, but like they weren't like I didn't walk away from that movie and like that blew me away. Like those guys deserve the Oscar. I don't know. It's just weird.
But then I think Brad Pitt is obviously the runaway.
Yeah,
in
for
that
me
one.
that was like definitely the standout performance.
I remember reading this quote, and it was like, I don't get the hype around Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's just playing himself. And the argument was, is it bad that he's playing himself, or is that just good casting, writing, and what's it called? Directing.
But
like
I don't think he was.
I don't think he was either, but I think
we have a different idea of what Brad Pitt is like versus what Brad Pitt is actually like. I listened to the
Mark Maron podcast with him, and he is a little bit like that, though. He is kind of this like laid back, chill dude who just is kind of a goofball, and that is like I think there's an essence of that in his performance. But I still felt like he was doing a performance.
Yeah, he was still acting.
Yeah,
and I don't think you can like cheapen someone's performance by being like, well, they played a character too like them, like similar to themselves.
Yes, exactly.
And any good casting director is going to be like, well, this is not a stretch for someone. Like, know this person's going to do an amazing job at this role. So,
but even if they end up just playing themselves and then it turns into like a shit performance because you're like, oh, this person's not even acting; they're just reading a script.
Well, yeah.
Then that's easy to see too.
Yeah.
But because he was so good in this, like every scene that he was in, even with like Leo, who was also nominated,
which I don't really understand.
Every
to be
single
honest.
scene, yeah, exactly. Like
that
seemed
like like a left field sort of nomination for me. I don't think it was like Oscar worthy. I feel like Brad Pitt's was, but yeah.
And then supporting actress Laura Dern for Marriage Story.
Yeah, we still haven't seen Marriage Story.
No,
we should get on that.
But
although it's like just seems like such a heavy movie to watch. I'm like, ugh.
It's cool to see her win. I don't know.
It was also her birthday.
Yes, that was cool. I liked her acceptance speech. I thought it was good.
Yeah. Who else was nominated?
Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell, Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit, Florence Pugh for Little Women, and Margot Robbie for Bombshell.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I think because I filled out that ballot sheet that I picked Florence Pugh. I really liked her in Little Women. Yeah. She pretty much stole, like, again, a bit like the Brad Pitt, where any scene that she was in was, you were completely focused on her.
Yeah, I agree.
She was amazing in that entire movie.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, I feel like I liked Florence Pugh's performance in Little Women more than I like Saoirse Ronan's, and I love Saoirse Ronan, so like that kind of like her nomination kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah.
Adapted screenplay, Taika Waititi for Jojo Rabbit.
Adapted,
yeah, because it's a book.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then in his acceptance speech, he said that his mom actually gave him the book.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then best original screenplay was Bong Joon-ho and Han Jin-won for Parasite. Animated features, Toy Story 4, which none of us saw.
No.
I
I
didn't
don't
even
know
realize
if
it
really
came out.
anybody saw that movie.
But we did see Klaus and Missing Link.
Klaus and Missing Link were so
We're
good.
both really good. Yeah.
I love
I'm
a
surprised
good, like,
at Toy Story
adult
4. But
animated
again,
feature, and those were like very I don't know. I thought they were like kind of geared towards
kids.
an older audience.
Oh yeah, okay.
In a way, obviously it's still a kids movie, but yeah.
International feature film Parasite, best documentary American Factory, best cinematography Roger Deakins for 1917.
Yeah, not surprising for that though.
The only one I think that didn't even get nominated that I would have liked to see at least get nominated, maybe not win, but was Ad Astra.
I thought that's what you were gonna say. Yeah.
I thought Ad Astra was one of the most beautiful movies that we saw all of last year. I think if I were to give my own cinematography award, that would be it. If I
I'm
were
sure
to
you
make
should,
up
Pat,
theoretical,
you should send them a letter to the producers, directors, and creators of Ad Astra, and then just draw a little picture of a trophy, best cinematography, at the end from Pat. They're like, "Oh, this 6-year-old."
Yeah. He's written it with crayon, but like using his left
cinematography
hand and
wrong.
also holding it like a knife.
Yeah.
Pat.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely like pretty show-stopping. That
but that being
movie
said,
visually was like incredible.
1917 was amazing because Irishman is nominated, Joker's nominated, The Lighthouse, 1917, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
1917 I
surprised.
get in the sense that they did something like so
Groundbreaking.
wild
Yeah.
and groundbreaking for that movie. But yeah, I think I agree with you. Ad Astra should have been nominated.
The Lighthouse actually was really, really cool how it was shot. Like everything almost seemed like it was very layered,
Yeah.
which I really liked. So that's actually cool to see that nominated.
I was surprised it didn't get more nominations.
Yeah.
Like, especially for, like, Best Actor and Best Supporting
Yeah.
Actor. Like,
Like this is all they got, pretty
that's
much.
crazy.
Best costume design, Joaquin
Phoenix.
Jacqueline Simon Joaquin Duran for Little Women.
Yes, which I thought was
Yeah,
pretty great.
agreed.
Yeah.
Film editing, Ford vs. Ferrari, makeup and hairstyling, Bombshell, original score, Hildur, oh god, I'm gonna butcher this, Hildur Gunnadóttir. It's very Icelandic, but for the Joker. Or for Joker. sorry.
Hildur Gunnadóttir.
Gunnadóttir.
And she is the first woman
He's first.
I forgot what it was. It was like since like 1960 or something like that. It's like a really long time.
To win what? Costume?
No, original score.
Oh, wow.
Original song, I'm Gonna Love Me Again from Rocket Man. Production design, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised that like 1917 or even Parasite, because they built a whole house. Like they built it from scratch just for the movie.
That's cool.
Which is insane because like it happens all in that house.
Yeah, but I think for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they used like downtown Hollywood.
And they
old
like
Hollywood.
recreated 1970s Hollywood. Yeah.
Which is cool, actually. Andrew, they're filming something near the alley downtown tomorrow. And it's set in the 60s, and they're closing off part of Fizgard and putting like 60s vehicles on the street.
That's
and
cool.
like, yeah.
They were filming.
I'm gonna walk
something
down
out-
there and give it a little what's the word? I don't know.
Literally
I'm just
no
gonna take
idea.
pictures.
You raised your eyebrow like 7 times, dude.
Yeah, I
I
was
was
like-
really like, what are you getting at? Are you gonna peep on this?
Exclusive. That's the word. Yeah.
Exclusive what?
Exclusive feature.
Anyway, what were you saying?
They were filming something down by Willows Beach.
Maybe that was the same thing.
Where it was like, like down there they have like the marina, like the Oak Bay Marina that's there.
Yeah.
They were filming something there.
Oh, cool. I've seen stuff being filmed there a few times. It's kind of cool. Sound mixing was 1917. Visual effects 1917 as well.
Cool.
Documentary short subject: learning to skateboard in a war zone if you're a girl.
Yeah, I saw that poster for that. It looks sick.
Yeah.
It's good.
And then short animated film, which I think was Hair Love, was the winner. And then short film live action was The Neighbor's Window. Yeah.
Should we talk about
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey?
And the
Fantabulous.
Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Did I
Yeah.
get it?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, fuck you.
I gave you like the first. Okay. Yeah. What did you guys think? Broad strokes.
Broad strokes.
Did you like it?
Oh god.
I did.
I was not prepared for this question.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was I think what you said it best when we left the theater. It was a good popcorn movie. Andrew, what are you doing?
I was looking through the hole.
To clarify, he's looking through the hole in his microphone.
It was also my neck got tired and I was like, floop.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a good popcorn movie. I don't know. I thought it was funny, like interesting. I liked Ewan McGregor's character in it. He was like scary, but not.
He was scary.
It wasn't like over the top.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Well,
he was he was unpredictable.
Yeah,
Yes.
you see someone.
Yeah.
He literally peels someone's face off, so it's kind of
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah.
He's kind of threatening, non-threatening the entire time. Where has that unpredictable element to him.
So it starts immediately after Suicide Squad, right? Is that how it's supposed to line up?
Ish.
Ish.
It takes place after. I don't think it's immediately though.
No.
But like sort of within.
Yeah, but then it's also sort of also loosely not connected to that, like those films at all. Like
Yeah.
I think, and there's some things that are done in this where you're sort of like they're clearly trying to separate this. That was my phone.
separate
This
the worlds.
from the other. Yeah, so there's a reason they don't show any of the Joker, despite talking about him every
Lots.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
A, because the Joker just came out. B, they don't want Jared Leto in any of these movies, and
Yeah.
I don't think they've cast anybody as like current day Joker.
Was he not well received? Like people
No.
didn't like him?
No.
I didn't really
the design
necessarily
of his
like.
character was a little too like out of left field type thing.
Yeah.
It's very hot topic.
Well, I was
Very
gonna
hot
say
topic.
like, but that was I feel like the thing that they did well in this movie was they kind of like kept with the same kind of tone in terms of like Harley Quinn's kind of style.
Yes,
and like
I totally
and like
agree.
kind of having like almost
They made her unique and made her a little like
Quirky.
Still, she bridged that gap very
Yeah.
well. Like she still had the goofy tattoos, but they weren't like.
but they
over-the-top
modernized
type
it a
thing.
bit.
They modernized it. Yeah.
And they did a good job I think with Black Canary too, like kind
Black
of having
Canary had a sick costume.
Yeah,
the entire
she was
movie.
great.
She was badass.
Well, I
yeah.
feel like all the costumes, like even Ewan McGregor's costumes were cool.
Yeah.
Like
Victor Zsasz is cool too.
Victor
He just had
Zsasz.
this kind of
Like,
like
up-
creepy 70s
bleached
look to
hair
him too.
too,
Yeah.
yeah.
they
I thought
did
it was
like
cool.
a really cool job of like being like, I don't really know when this is taking place. Like it's modern, but there's also a lot of like
totally.
vintage, like the vintage car and like the idea of the club where there's like a singer at the club is a very kind of like old Hollywood sort of feel to it. Obviously, we know it's not taking place in Hollywood, but so I feel like they did a good job of bridging that gap because it felt like Suicide Squad in comparison felt so like I don't know abrasive kind of with that stuff, and Jared Leto's character too. But I liked the graphics they did on the screen. We were talking about that where they have like the name and the grievance.
Yeah, I like that too.
Where
yeah.
it was like fun.
I tried to read through the
Yeah.
grievance ones with Black Mask with what's his face, Ewan McGregor.
yeah.
And some of them were so dumb.
Have a vagina. It was like
yeah. Some of them were like peed in his cereal and stuff, and then there were some of them were like way more just like
Yeah.
low key, and yeah, like some of those were really really funny.
yeah.
But I like that because like Suicide Squad did something similar, and it was cool, but it didn't last the entire movie. It ended up being kind of weird, like misplaced. But this one,
Yeah.
it fit so well with the theme, and they did it through the entire thing.
It was consistent.
It was
yeah.
consistent, yeah.
And I
really
think
like
it
that.
suited it where, you know, you're the whole like inciting incident is the fact that Harley and the Joker broken up, so all of these people are now after her, right?
Yeah.
And she realizes that all these people want to like kill her, basically. So having those grievances and kind of like understanding the backstory as to what has happened that we're not able to see, do you know what I mean? Like, I thought that was really
Yeah, they didn't
good
have
touch.
to keep doing flashbacks.
yeah.
That was
And
maybe the one thing that I don't know if I like enjoyed, but also I can see why they kind of did it, was the weird time skipping in this. Mm-hmm. They do it like a couple times, and I was listening to a different podcast, and they were talking about this movie tries a lot to be similar to Deadpool in that sense.
Yeah.
There are some very clear elements that they've kind of taken and gone like, we can do that, we can
Right.
do this, and like, to be fair, it worked. Like, I didn't come out of it going like, that was fucking Deadpool.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I sort of heard that and I was like, well, maybe like
you
there's
can draw the
sort of it,
comparison,
but
but
I think
it stands. I think
it
it
still
stands
stands on its own.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because I think it draws from Deadpool in the way that like you could say The Irishman draws from like mob movies or like mafia movies kind of thing.
Totally.
Where
I
it's
think-
just more of like how they're approaching certain things.
I think
So-
Deadpool is so much the pioneer for those
Yes.
R-rated
Sure.
Marvel superhero movies that this one is R-rated, and they did sort of the same thing where they were like, how do we still get this out there and still make it interesting without being sort of this goofy, stupid, like
Yeah.
dorky thing? And I thought it was like, I think they do a good job of that.
Well, instead of labeling it like not even labeling it, but just saying it's similar to Deadpool, that's not so much in a reductive way, but
No,
in a
it
way of
wasn't.
like
It kind of
that actually benefited
Yeah.
this movie
Yeah,
really well
100%,
because it
yeah.
like how we were talking about Suicide Squad in this movie, you can't not have them connected now.
Yeah.
It breaks the mold, though.
But it breaks the mold and it
Yeah.
makes it so much more
Breaks the
unified.
fucking mold, man. It turns the genre on its head.
But like Suicide Squad was so fractured
Yeah.
in what it was trying to do. It was like trying
The
to be funny,
magical
but then it was like trying to be
realism
and like
was
have this weird
strange.
realism, and but then this movie it was just like, nope, this is
is
the
the
world.
world.
This is
Yeah.
the world. This is how we're following it. We're not going to sort of break from it,
Yeah.
but we're keeping it all very grounded.
Yeah.
Like I think I really liked how grounded the entire movie was. Like she's going to shop. She's just like living in some shit apartment above like a like whatever
Chinese restaurant. or
Chinese
something,
restaurant.
Yeah.
you know, and then she like takes in the girl and blah blah blah. Like they're just doing sort of normal shit, but it's still not normal as in she's like a supervillain.
Well, it's not a.
You know what I
it's
mean?
not a
Yeah.
normal like superhero supervillain movie in kind
No.
of any sense of the word. And I think that's what I liked about it, and I think it did that really well.
Yeah.
It kind of like subverted your expectations without being like too much, and yeah, it draws on like the same kind of like quirkiness and like humor that Deadpool does. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah,
No.
big time.
But at the same
It-
time,
yeah.
like it, yeah, I think it still stands on its own.
It
I
does-
liked. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I like the fact that she's very clearly from the outset a super flawed character, and I feel like that's not really something that you get much from a lot of Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Comparatively, like a lot of them are kind of these like beautiful, pristine, perfect
Yeah.
women, and she's clearly like kind of fucked up, does a lot of bad shit, like breaks a guy's legs.
Yeah.
God, some of the violence in this movie was like honestly revolting, but so funny at the same time.
Well, that's one thing I liked about her as a character is that she's still like a villain, you know?
Yeah.
Like they sort of paint her as if she's like on the line type thing, but she's still a douchebag. Like she still
Yeah.
does like dickish things and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
still sells out the kid, or like when
Yes.
the Taiwanese restaurant owner like sells her out, she's kind of like, well, it's business type thing. So like she understands where she lies in this world, and
Yeah.
even more so after like blowing up Ace Chemicals and shit like that. So
It's not
I
trying to be a
think-
redemption story.
no,
But
they
then
know
it does
what she is.
have that redemption in the end.
I
too.
think
So it
three
does-
other
it does
characters
play both, I
don't
think,
think
well.
she has redemption though.
Yeah, because she's still kind of like
She
as
still
much as
like
she
blows them all
helps,
off. She still steals that
that's
car.
She
So
kills him in the end.
Yeah,
Whatever.
she does, yeah,
she takes
right.
in the kid, but like she was still gonna sell
I
out
think
the kid.
Yeah.
the three others have their own sort of not necessarily a redemption story, but sort of like a
Probably closer to
like
it.
they now a purposeful like
Yeah.
mission now. Like they sort of get together and they're like, hey, we're pretty good at this. Like let's do this full time
Yeah.
type thing. I love the action in this. I've heard it described as some of the best action in a comic book movie.
It was
There's
great.
the scene in the police station, which is like a long take.
Oh, but
or a
so
long couple
good.
scenes, which is so good, and it feels very John Wick like, where it feels very purposeful and practiced and worked out, and there's a reason behind her grabbing certain
Yeah.
like rounds and stuff like that.
But
which
even
is
like
So well
cool.
choreographed.
and then
yeah.
just like doing the simple stuff of just like snapping the gun to load it up and then
Yeah.
like flinging it back to load it and then
but also like hitting them with the gun because she's not
Yeah.
like wasting rounds, and then like shooting them with specific things. Like it just feels very natural. Like it works so well and plays out so well.
yeah.
And I loved the scene in the evidence room when she's trying to find her name's Cassandra Cain.
Yeah.
When they're trying to find her, and like they end up shooting up that massive flat of coke,
Yeah.
and then you just like see like she like lights up. It's just like so funny,
Yeah.
but at the same time you're just like, wow, it fits the movie so well because
Yeah.
it's not like accidentally watching Wonder Woman do coke. Do you know what I mean? They could
Yeah,
only
yeah,
really
it
do that
fits.
kind of like edgy stuff with
I
Harley Quinn.
remember reading something and they were like the superhero Harley's superhero super soldier serum is cocaine.
Yeah.
Which is so funny. But she does a lot of the stunts in this. I
So
think.
that was going to be my point, is that I really like that you could tell that it was her.
you could
I think
you could tell she's doing
Yeah.
a lot of the action in this.
It was
which
a
is
lot of
really great.
a lot of like the just like the fight scenes and stuff, like in the cop shop, and then when they're in the like the fun house or whatever. But then like even when she's chasing Black Mask and Cassandra Cain, it looks like her.
When she's
that's
beating the shit out of those guys in the convertible.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
lot
looks
of it
like her. That's like
yeah.
being pulled behind the motorcycle, and then she gets like flung onto the car
Yeah.
and stuff. I was like, it's really impressive that.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, maybe like they sort of do like the thing where they switch between whatever stunt person is with her, but the fact that they make it look like it's her the entire time, I think is it like only benefits this movie.
I also liked how like self-aware the movie was. Like I love when they're fighting in what was that big like circus?
Funhouse area,
Yeah, the funhouse, whatever.
Amusement Mile.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
shout out.
And they make someone makes I think it's Black Canary makes a joke about the fact that Harley Quinn's now wearing like roller skates.
Yes.
And she's like, I don't know when she had time for a shoe change. And like it's just kind of like you're
Yeah.
like, well, she must be wearing roller skates for a reason, but also, you know, clearly.
But also
It's
just
like-
the fact that she's just that type
That
of
kind of
character where she
yeah.
might just see them and be like,
And be like,
"Ooh."
oh yeah, like she saw them in the
Yeah.
box and was like, well, I'll take these or whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I also loved the character of the Huntress.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
I
was
love
really
Mary
cool.
Elizabeth Wine.
I think she's great.
Weinstein.
Yeah.
Winstead.
Winstead, maybe?
Winstead,
Winstead,
yeah.
Yeah.
She's so great. I want to see her in more stuff because she's so great. But
Yeah.
she plays this. The character it's like so. The comic book version of all these characters, because they're all like deep DC characters.
Yeah, we were
especially
sort
in
of
the Batman
trying
gallery.
to talk about it before, but
Yeah,
it's
'cause, like,
you only
Renee-
get hints of it. Yeah.
Renee Montoya eventually becomes this character called The Question, which is this like faceless detective person, and she's supposed to be like she's in a ton of stuff with like Batman stuff. She's actually in The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah,
She's
right.
one of the cops that sells out Commissioner Gordon's
Yes.
family or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But who eventually like it's part of the thing. But like
yeah.
her characterization is different, but it's still sort of like enough down the same line that it works really well, I think. And it works in this world that they've made.
Yeah.
And the same with Black Canary, who they straight off the bat are like, this isn't Black Canary. This is Black Canary, who's the daughter of Black Canary type thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's like still a singer and like also has the power, and they just allude to that really early, but she still is like a badass and still like can kick people's ass and shit like that.
I really like that they were like, oh no,
Yeah.
it's not, it's Black Canary's daughter, and
But
it's like sick.
Instead of leaving it up to like waiting till the last second and just kind of plot armoring it, you know, like they explain it right away and are like, this isn't what you think it is, this is what they're like, and then they played it out,
and
which
that
I
works
appreciate
because,
more.
Yeah, and that works because Montoya is a little bit older too, so like there would be that crossover, so it actually makes a lot of sense.
And I love that she knew her mom too.
Yes.
Like, you know, they make that aware. And I like the fact that Black Canary was like kind of a shitty character in the sense that she knew what Black Mask was doing, but still kind of was like going along with it.
But then still
she has her
was able to
redemption,
like, still able to call the cop and stuff like that. But
it was kind of like, I'm stuck in this position, and like as much as I dislike what this guy's doing, there's nothing I can really do about it.
Yeah. Or and then she learns that there's like
I missed what I was gonna say. Huntress is cool. I didn't love the Huntress costume throughout the movie, but
no, it felt a
it
little
was
out of
very
place.
like it was very Matrixy.
But it took itself too seriously,
which
I think was funny because
that
no one
was
took
kind of the
her.
point.
Yeah. So I feel like it was her kind of trying to be like, well, I'm this trained assassin now, and
which is why she's so awkward too, because she's literally just raised in like a assassin monastery forever. And that's the thing with this movie. I think that I really did enjoy is that it knows what it is, and it doesn't play too far off of it, but also it just feels like so much of this movie is happening kind of like, it almost feels so coincidental where everything's happening at the right time in the right moment and things are working the way that they're supposed to. Like, it just feels like everything fits properly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anything in this movie made me kind of go, I don't think so. Yeah,
I'd agree with that because the timing of her driving the truck into the Ace Chemical plant and then Huntress showing up literally that same day, you know, is like a little coincidental.
Right.
But then like everything else sort of just like builds to that too. Like Montoya was already a detective.
Yeah.
She was already looking into the case.
She was already looking into the case. She already kind of knew that she was around, but
when she talks like the goofball cop, I love that they just straight away are like,
why are you talking like that?
This is intentional, though.
Yeah.
Like, because you easily could have gone like, this is really shit writing. But the fact that they were like, it's shit writing on purpose.
Yeah, it was so self-aware the entire time. The same with the Huntress. Like, the fact that...
Yeah, exactly.
They're constantly being like, no, she's a badass, but, like, everyone keeps calling her the crossbow killer. And she's like, don't you know who I am? And no one knows who she is because obviously no one has any idea, like... you know, where she's come from. So I really liked that. I liked that it was like, they really like played off of itself in a really organic way.
I remember one of the things that I thought was funny was when she asked for a hair tie.
Yes, yeah.
And it wasn't until I read this comment that was like, this movie's written by like a woman. And like no guy would ever think of that, which is, and again, it just makes it all seem very cohesive.
Yeah.
Because like she asked her, and then she's literally doing it while she's kicking people in the face and stuff, and it was just so like
funny.
So sick. Or when they're being just super supportive at the end there, and they're like, "I love your name," and they're like, "I love your kicks," and shit like that, and
they're like getting drunk,
just everything about this was just nice. Like I did really enjoy it. I think I enjoyed it way more. Yeah. I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as that one guy in our theater.
God, he was like laughing
he laughed
at the just random dialogue
shit. Yeah.
It was like, oh.
She would say something weird, and you'd be like, okay, I like whatever line. And he'd be like, whoa! And then there was some woman next to her who was like, whoa! Like, it's like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. They're just eating a burger.
Yeah. But,
or tacos.
I was just going to say it's directed by Kathy Yan. I haven't seen anything else that she's done. She wrote and directed Dead Pigs. And then she wrote and directed a movie called According to My Mother.
I think I've heard of that.
That's mostly... Oh, and then she's done Downriver, too. But, yeah, for the most part, like, this is sort of her biggest budget movie, obviously. Like, any sort of superhero movie is going to be big budget, but... Like, I thought it was great. I thought It was like really well directed, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like that, this thing was different from Suicide Squad because it was just like so sure of itself.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
so
100%.
right down the line. I think it knew what it wanted to be.
Yes, you're right. I think the fact that Suicide Squad wavered throughout that movie, and it sort of like does lose its way because it starts off so strong with all those like title credits,
Yeah.
and then just it turns into a big messy blob. And then this one, it's what it is from the beginning all the way through.
Yeah.
Like it just is the same.
But they took the strongest part of Suicide Squad being Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn,
Yeah.
easily the best part of that movie, and they were like, okay, that's our
They
foundation.
redeemed her though. They
Yeah.
really like did
They-
right
they-
by her. I think.
But
in
they
this
just
Well,
made her
she's
character
I
so much
think
better. They just
Margot
built upon it.
Robbie's
Yeah.
An EP on this too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she
And I
is.
think that because she's done so much for that character, and that I think is why this movie is the way that it is, because she's had more control maybe over what's written and what's done and what action
Probably,
scenes
yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that because like her as a character is so much more fleshed out, where she does like the genius side of her shine like a little bit, which I do really enjoy, because I don't relate to the like, I relate more to the genius in her. I don't I was gonna say yeah, I don't relate to like the quirky Deadpool side of it, but the fact that she does talk about being like a psychiatrist and like her medical training and stuff like that, where you're sort of like, okay, she's more than that.
Yeah.
She's more interesting.
And it's interesting
And
because
I do think that Margot Robbie
has
has
dimension
more,
for
Yes,
sure.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
think Margot Robbie has so much more to do with that part of
Yeah.
it.
sure.
Because
And
you
it,
see her interaction with the kid, and like that kind of rounds her out.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole thing with the fucking fried egg sandwich was so funny, and like
Yeah.
it was just like so quintessential, like a drunk, like a hungover person in the morning, just
Needs
like
some greasy
needing some
food,
greasy
yeah.
food, and like it wasn't overdone. But then yeah, I feel like they just like gave her like they made her a bit more dynamic and gave her some like more interesting layers to
Yeah.
work with. And as much as in the end you're kind of like, okay, well, she's still Harley Quinn,
yeah.
at least you know that she like has the ability to like change and kind of evolve, and she is like
Yeah,
super
totally.
layered.
I even think that it wasn't like a major part of this movie, but that if they are building this sort of through or trying to add to the DCEU, whatever's going on with that, I think between this movie and even Joker, this movie added a lot of depth to Gotham City.
Yeah, totally.
Like if that's something that they're trying to pursue and
I
they're
think-
trying to
I
add
totally
to,
agree.
this did a really good job of adding to
Well,
it,
like,
because like
this
you
is-
see Ace Chemical Plant,
Or
and
like
then
just fucking Amusement Mile, which is like one of the dumbest fucking things part of DC Gotham City shit. But like the fact they included it is so funny and so great because it's part of it. It's
Yeah.
just this creepy
Yeah.
rundown amusement park, and like they included it and they made it fun and like
Yeah.
interesting and stuff like that.
but even like them sort of being in like, because we see Gotham City a lot being either like the high rises or it's the kind of like slummy areas.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you only ever see the two.
Yeah.
And I know that's on purpose, but this movie showed
A
the in
lot
between,
more, yeah.
and it was like, okay, like here's a police station, and like here's just somewhere, some random ass neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right? Like it sort of just adds more depth, and it actually felt like a more fleshed out city or setting or anything like
Right.
that.
Well, how would you rate this among other DC movies?
To be honest, I think this is one of my favorite
Yeah, I
ones
think
now.
so too.
Shazam. I keep thinking about
I
Shazam
like this
since
one.
we talked about it.
I think I
since-
like this one more than Shazam for the action.
But it's so
alone.
Yes.
they're
For
so
sure,
hard to
yeah.
compare because
Yeah.
Shazam is such a PG movie.
It is.
It is.
In
It's very much
comparison,
so.
do you know what I mean? So it's like I like it in the way that I like the fact that it's like so wholesome and cute,
Yeah.
and like that's not the reason why I liked.
No, not like this
one,
movie.
but
But
yeah.
that being said, I think Shazam is a great movie, and it's probably like an easy movie to like rewatch again if we were ever to. I could see myself watching this again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
for sure.
I think this is one of my favorite ones now.
I hope they do more with Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
I hope
well,
she gets more.
Well, yeah, who knows? Because like this movie's fucking bombing right
because
now.
she's supposed to
Is
be.
it really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because like
It's
it-
bombing in the box office. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Its reviews are good.
but it like opened at number 1 opening weekend, but didn't make that much money. So it's like, okay, well, people just aren't seeing.
But there wasn't that much hype around it either, to be honest.
No.
Like, I didn't really see anything about it. I didn't.
Because I think,
Like, we didn't watch the trailer. I just really wanted to see it because I've been, like, looking forward to it for the past...
Because we had talked about it on here, right?
Year or something, yeah.
But she's supposed to be in the new Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that's coming out.
So that's the guy who directed
Idris Elba
Guardians of
and
the Galaxy.
shit.
Yeah. So I am interested to see how that.
But if they're gonna do another Suicide Squad after the first one sucked shit, then they better do another one because this movie was actually good.
Yeah.
So maybe that's
totally.
why.
You know what I mean? Like, if they can try to redeem that one, they don't even need to redeem this one. Just make another one. It was really good.
I think this is again perfect foundation. Like, if they're trying to make another Suicide Squad movie, this is perfect, like, springboard to get to that new. Because now people are going to be like, well, that
this
movie
is like
pretty
what
good.
you
like,
need to do. Make it like this is what a good example of what it needs to be like.
So,
what's our rating?
Yep. What's your rating, buddy?
Out of 7.
Yeah.
I could say 6.
I was gonna say 6 too. I think just on the principle of the fact that I don't think I've given out a 7 yet.
Okay.
Oh.
But I really
The
like
last
it.
7 I gave was Uncut Gems, so I feel like everything's compared
that was
against
last
that.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly the same. 6. Like, I just, again, it was like such a great popcorn movie. Like, I think the fight scenes, almost in like retrospect, I liked more too. Sort of after
At the
thinking
time,
about
I
it.
was like cringing because there's some of them are
Oh,
so.
the
that
first
was
one you
like,
see is
shit,
that
that
the
was,
driver
like,
gets
great.
his fucking legs, both legs broken, and then the other one was like she breaks the guy by the van's legs in like 3 places or something like that. Oh, so great.
Yeah, I really liked her using like the hammer too, which I thought was sick, and the baseball bat, and like her just doing like
just
the
how
funny stuff.
smooth she is with like the bat too.
Because then
which
you
is,
could
like,
just
super
tell that
cool.
she was like familiar with it or whatever. But
exactly.
yeah,
Cool.
for sure.
Hmm.
Okay.
Let's go eat
Am I
some
on
banana
anything?
bread.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. That's Twin Speaks for Birds of Prey. And Andrew, do you want to have a go? Oh, no, you already did it. George, you do it.
The Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Nice.
Also, next episode is episode 50. Number
That's right,
50.
yeah.
It's good.
roll
Should
that
we
out.
make a point of saying to share this with your friends, colleagues, associates,
Yeah.
Follow
enemies,
us on
nemesis,
Instagram.
We're getting
dogs,
some...
cats, but not fish.
They do not have ears.
Because they have tiny ears. They have
can't
ears.
Andrew, though, they'd probably be able to hear you. But,
What?
shout, because you shout on the podcast.
I shout a lot.
Yes.
So
I'm watching
always,
your levels right now.
I'm always redlining, baby. But yeah, we're trying to
build some steam here.
build some steam.
And
if you think we're
if you'd
funny,
like to sponsor us.
Yeah, reach out.
I say us.
please.
This is not my podcast.
Hey, if you're on the podcast that we get sponsored for, you get money too, baby.
whoa.
That's
how
something
it
maybe you
works.
two need
No,
to talk
because you're
about.
setting a precedent. It's under the table for Georgia. We don't tell Matt.
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, we're not giving money to anybody.
Yeah.
It's just you and me, buddy.
Anyway. Thanks
Share
for
it,
listening.
yeah.
Bye.
Share it. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.